It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
Garrett asks, is the Know Your Number course valuable for someone in their early 30s? Right now, I try to focus on savings rate since many variables can change over time. And I'm just wondering, is this something that makes sense for me to start thinking about right now?
I love this because if you've listened, we do a lot of content by age, like net worth by age, 401k by age, saving by age, debt by age. We like to kind of break out in this strata. And when we talk about accumulators, one of the things that we say is early on in your financial journey, your savings rate matters. And really, your savings rate matters even so much more than your rate of return. Because if you can save 10% of your salary, you're going to do a lot more damage to your army. Damage in a good way. That's bad language right there. You're going to do a lot more good to your financial journey than earning a 10% rate of return on a small sum of money. So you really ought to focus on your savings rate. We want our young people to be saving 20 to 25% of their gross income for the long term. Well, we do that in our 20s and we start building up and we get to that 20 to 25%. But it's real easy, especially when we have these long-term plans, these long-term ideas, to kind of lose sight, to kind of say, okay, what am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Am I doing this right? What I love, specifically, Garrett, for folks who are in their 30s, I don't want the Know Your Number course to be something that derails you from focusing on getting your savings where it needs to be. So if you're at 10%, I want you to get to 15. If you're at 15, I want you to get to 20. But if you're someone who's been saving and you're starting to build up some critical mass and you're starting to think, okay, I'm not necessarily at the beginning of my journey, but I'm on my journey and I want to start having an idea around what the horizon line looks like. Okay, I have these visions in my head. I want to be able to retire and I want to be able to spend $10,000 a month and I want to be able to do that at age 55. If you're starting to have some clarity around those kinds of ideas, then the Know Your Number course is going to be incredibly helpful in giving you an actual target to hit. Now, it's not the target, it is a target. And what it will allow you to do is it will allow you to frame all of the decision making you make around your financial life to make sure that it's moving towards the same goalpost, to make sure that it's moving in the right direction. It begins to add some tangibility to that goal rather than this nebulous thing that kind of lives out there in the ether. So my answer, as someone who's probably in a similar stage to life as you, Garrett, is that yes, I think the Know Your Number course can be incredibly valuable for someone who's not necessarily at the very beginning of their journey, but who has been in their journey for a while and wants to think about the next phase of their journey.
Well, I think what I love is the functionality that was actually designed into it and the fact that inflation, you can actually tweak the numbers higher or lower on rate of return, anticipated rate of return. You can tweak it higher or lower. And in real time, right there when you make those tweaks, it's going to change the picture.
That's right.
Right there on the spot. And what I like is I think because you just said it, that time is such a big, powerful influencer on building wealth. And I tell anybody who's making a big life decision, I was like, you usually come up with, just like you do a business plan, you need to have a life plan where you'll have what you think will happen, you'll have your best case scenario, and you'll have your worst case scenario. Wouldn't it be nice if you had a tool that allowed you on the fly to do all three of those essentially case studies on your financial life right there in real time? And then because I think for most 20 and 30 somethings, it's such a weird, you said nebulous was the word you used, but it does feel like, what am I saving for? I love the fact that you're going to be able to update to know what that number looks like, to have a range by playing with the variables right there, so that as you do get closer, because look, this does not replace for somebody who's 3 years out or even in retirement. We still think our retirement plan we do where we stress test and we do all kind of simulations on it.
It's a must.
It is a must. But for somebody who's in the planning phases, and here's something we did, because I was like, I don't want us to look at this tool. And then for our clients, because we're giving this to clients too, by the way, that's always an added benefit of being a client of Mountain Wealth. You get our tools and our courses for free, is that I don't want them to go compare what we did when we did our risk stress tests on their retirement plan to this and have completely different answers. We tried to lay these next to each other and we said they complement each other very nicely, but it can definitely be a motivational tool for somebody who wanted to change variables in a lot of ways to see what time can do for you we tried to build that into it, Garrett. So I think actually that person who's aspirationally building wealth in their 20s, 30s, and even 40s, this thing, you're in the sweet spot of playing with the functionality of the tool to see what your opportunity is for the future. So you know if you need to save more by maybe making more income, if you need to spend less, or maybe you're in that 40 stage in the coming decade where you go, hey, maybe I can spend more. I mean, we've had that conversation, I feel like twice in the last week with clients. Like, go build those memories. Go do stuff because you've done the hard work already. That's the type of feedback I think Know Your Number will hopefully provide.
And this is the last little piece. Sorry, Reeves. I was going to kick it back to you, but I was just going to say this. You guys have probably figured out one of the things that we're doing when we build these courses, we make these tools, we're kind of just like giving you the stuff that we do, the stuff that we use personally. What I love is if you're doing your net worth statement every single year and you're tracking that at the end of the year every year, you can then take the progress that you've done and go put that into the Know Your Number tool. It's not like a one and done, okay, I'm going to know my number today and I'm not ever going to know it again. No, you get to revisit it. As you save more, as your portfolio grows more, as the assets get bigger, you get to continually refine that through time. So you'll know your number today and then you can check your number next year. Then you can continue to do that over and over again so that you have a clear path ultimately to where you're going. We just hope we're helping you shift into gear to fast track your journey to that destination.
And I don't know if post edit when this comes out, we ought to at least give the link. I mean, learn.moneyguy.com. Go check it out. We always try to design the tools to where they accelerate or put you on the fast track to taking your finances to the next level.